There's a lot to be said about the King of Thailand. Not only is he known for his lavish and rather eccentric lifestyle, which includes owning multiple private jets, donning a 16-pound royal crown, and even naming his dog Foo Foo as his Air Chief Marshal. Yes, you heard that right, folks. He is also known for spending a lot of money. He's been married 4 times, has spent the majority of the past year and a half in a 4-star hotel in Germany, and he even owns the largest faceted diamond in the world, a 546.67 carat brown diamond. Holy moly, strap in, the richest fans. This is how King Maha Vajiralongkorn spends his fortune. The King of Thailand is hands down one of the richest men on the planet. King Vajiralongkorn, also known as Rama X, ascended to the throne back in 2016 after his father passed away. This makes him the 10th monarch of the Chakri dynasty. His assets are a bit hard to put an exact number on. Some reports say he's worth $43 billion as of January 2021, while others claim he is worth upwards of $70 billion. One of the reasons this number is so difficult to pin down is the fact that the majority of his fortune comes from his 23% stake in Siam Commercial Bank, which is one of Thailand's biggest lenders, and a 33.3% stake in Siam Cement Group, one of Thailand's largest industrial companies. These 2 companies have an estimated value of $9 billion. Right off the bat, you can imagine that these holdings put the king comfortably in the 1%. But his assets don't stop there. The King of Thailand also owns quite a bit of land, to the tune of 16,000 acres of prime land and 40,000 rental leases with developers. Basically, what we're saying is, if you want to build on this land, you're paying the king, and he's getting mighty rich. But King Rama X isn't just a savvy investor. He also owns a rather impressive collection of vehicles. One look at all the cars he owns, and you'll see that this is more than just a hobby. It's a passion. There's almost too many cars to list all here, which include vendors like Ferrari, Porsche, Audi, BMW, and Nissan. Some of our personal favorites? How about this Maybach 62 limousine, a $431,055 ride? Or what about his Mercedes-Benz S-Class, which goes for $111,350? Oh, but who could forget his Rolls-Royce Corniche, a car that costs $359,900? Yeah, Rama X doesn't mess around. If you want to know how the king travels through the air, we got you. He reportedly owns 38 jets and helicopters, which are exclusively used by the royal family. Standouts include 4 Boeing and 3 Airbus commercial aircraft, which go for around $89 million each. 3 Russian-made Sukhoi Superjet 100s, those are $50 million planes, folks. 4 Northrop F-5E light fighter jets, each costing him $2.1 million a pop, and 21 helicopters. The average price for just one is $1,794,793. In total, it's estimated that the maintenance of the fleet costs almost $64 million. Hey, we said Rama X was a billionaire, not a millionaire. And he certainly lives like one. As far as homes, Rama X will certainly spend time in the Grand Palace, which is a complex of buildings in the heart of Bangkok. These beautiful and culturally significant buildings also double as one of the most popular tourist attractions in Thailand. After all, there's a lot of history here. Since 1782, this has been the official residence of the kings of Siam, and later Thailand. But it's actually Dusit Palace where King Rama IX lived, choosing the Chitradala Royal Villa as his main house. And Rama X, he's at the Amporn Satan Residential Hall, also located at the palace. But a subject of some controversy for the king has been his most recent residence, a 4-star hotel in the Bavarian Alps. Apparently, he is staying there with an entourage of women. The hotel is just about an hour south of Munich, and it's conveniently close to a lake house owned by Rama X, located on nearby Lake Starnberg. We see the appeal of this hotel. It's got an indoor swimming pool, a large window front and panoramic view of the Alps, sauna and fitness studio, a bar called Peacock Gin & Company Bar. There's 24-hour room service, and it consists of 7 rooms, including 2 King Ludwig II suites, named after the former king of Bavaria, due to these rooms being fit for a king. What else does the king spend his money on? Well, his coronation was certainly a big money sink. It took place in May 2019, was attended by nearly 1,300 people, lasted 6.5 hours, had rare elephants parade by, and in total, it cost the king a whopping $31 million. Another big money sink for the king is his weddings, of which he has had 4. In fact, just before his coronation, he had a surprise ceremony where he married his longtime partner and personal bodyguard. This came as a big surprise, considering the king had never acknowledged that the two were romantically involved or that they had even expressed interest in one another. They signed the official documents in the ornate and Pornsadon Throne Hall in Bangkok. But, as you can imagine, when you are married this many times, it means you've been divorced many times as well. And they certainly have cost the king quite a bit of dough. One report states that in total, he had to pay $6 million when it was all said and done. Another big cost for the king? It's certainly his 7 kids that he's had with his previous wives. How can we talk about a king without mentioning his crown? As you can probably imagine, with King Rama X, he dons one of the most visually striking and heavy crowns in the world. Known as the Great Crown of Victory, this massive golden headpiece weighs 16 pounds. But if you think that's impressive, we should tell you about the Golden Jubilee Diamond, which is part of the crown jewels. It's the largest faceted diamond in the world, a 546.67 carat brown diamond. Its value between $4 million and $12 million. But due to ties to the royal family, experts say if this diamond were to ever be sold at an auction, you can bet that it would go for much, much more. Where's the diamond kept? At the Royal Thai Palace, where it is under heavy security and constantly watched by guards. Honestly, we don't blame them. We are wrapping up our video with arguably the cutest splurge for the King of Thailand. We are talking about his dog Foo Foo, his pet poodle, who unfortunately has passed away. The king spared no expense when he cremated Foo Foo. It was a 4-day ceremony, which included traditional Buddhist funeral rites. Rama X loved that dog, and it seems that he trusted Foo Foo with rather important military matters, too. See, Foo Foo officially held the rank of Air Chief Marshal and was seen multiple times donning formal evening attire complete with paw mitts. Well, what can we say? When you're the Air Chief Marshal, you gotta dress like it. It doesn't matter if you also double as the pet poodle. Hey, before we go, we want to show you some other royal pets that are getting quite the royal treatment. While they may not have had military ranks like Foo Foo, they certainly have lived like royalty. Queen Elizabeth II has a butler that will tend to the needs of each of her corgis, and their meals are hand-delivered in porcelain bowls. The Crown Princess of Denmark let her dog Ziggy grab a little screen time during a feature shoot for Australian Women's Weekly, and King Edward VII was known to lavish his dog with gifts. His wire fox terrier, Caesar, apparently had a collar that read, "I belong to the king," and even had his own footman. Thanks for tuning in today. We hope you enjoyed today's video. If you haven't already, hit subscribe so you can see when our next video goes up. We'll see you next time, right here on The Richest.